Let me continue with another discussion. Okay. During system development life cycle, various risks would be encountered. Okay. Among the risks are the first, adoption of inappropriate system development life cycle for application system. Okay, we need as system developer, we need we take the side as auditor. Okay, we are joining the team, but we don't involve directly. Okay, so system development team will have to decide which system development lifecycle approach they're going to use. Okay, so it must be appropriate, right? If they select the wrong approach, okay, it might face with issues and problems. So it is utmost important for the system development team to select the most suitable approach. Okay, second is the inadequate control. So when developing a system, okay, system development team must ensure that adequate control is embedded into the application. Okay, for example, we did discuss many times that not everyone is allowed to use the system. Okay, only authorized personnel. Okay, only staff. And not all staff that have authorization due to their job spec. Okay, due to their responsibility, so they have to use the system. So database administrator will have to decide who will be granted to access to the system and to what extent. Okay, meaning that not all staff can access to the system and not all staff have the same access. Okay, so for example, data entry personnel can have access to a certain extent. Supervisor can have access to a certain extent. Okay, so the one who approve cannot key in data. The one who key in data cannot approve. Okay, there must be separation of duties. Perhaps management can access to all reports, okay, related to his or her duty. For example, sales manager, what reports sales manager can access and can print. Okay, so for sales manager, only things related to sales, for example, weekly sales, monthly sales, total sales, as well as accounts receivable. Okay, why you need to allow sales manager to access to accounts receivable, and any explanation for that? Okay, so we don't want the sales team just to conduct sales without tracking the collection, meaning that let's say we have a very energetic sales force. Okay, they go out and try to make sales, try to close the deals without considering the ability of customer to pay. if that is the case, we would have a huge number of accounts receivable, huge amount. Is it good or not? Okay, if your answer is good, you have to think back. If your answer is no, okay, you are considering the risk. So, okay. Now, if we perform huge sales, but at the same time we have huge amount of accounts receivable, okay, it means that our cash flow is not good. Okay, so we want to maintain good cash flow, right? Okay, the next is we have to consider control in many aspects. If our system is using online, okay, we have to make sure that hackers, okay, those who doesn't have authority to access the system are excluded or stopped from access. Okay, staff who retired or staff who quit from the organization immediately after their quit or being fired, the access has to be cancelled, okay, or has to be stopped immediately. So that's the control. Next is user requirement and objective not being met by the application. Okay, as IS auditor, we have to make sure that the system fulfill with user requirement. Okay. If not, the system developed is useless, and we can expect sooner or later the system will be abandoned, will be not used anymore. Okay, so as IS auditor, we have to check that user requirement is fulfilled and the objective of the application is met. Okay, so every system that being developed, there should always be objectives spelled out clearly. Then an inadequate stakeholder. Any good system development, the inclusion of stakeholder is very important. Stakeholder here includes the customer, includes the internal users, includes the supplier, okay, including the managers, including the government. Okay, for example, let's say we are under banking industry. Okay, so whatever government instruction or policy, so bank industry operates in Malaysia have to follow. For example, the use of ATM. Okay, let's say if I am Maybank card holder, I can withdraw and I can deposit money at any Maybank facilities machine without any charge. Okay. Before COVID-19, if I withdraw at any ATM facilities which are not under Maybank, I will be charged RM1 for one transaction. But during COVID-19, the government have instructed all the banks should or to waive their RM1 charges for where customer withdraw or or deposit money with different ATM facilities. So considering the government instruction, okay, so this is also important, right? Then inadequate lack of management support. Okay. Any system developed needs support from the management. Any reason for that? Just imagine we want to develop a new application. It requires approval from the and also support from the management. If management doesn't support, we will not get resources needed. We do not get allocation. We do not get stuff to develop. We cannot get access to the users, to interview them and to test run, right? So without management support, it is, if I may say, a no-go decision. Okay. So any development, any new system will need the support from the management. Okay. The next is inadequate project management. Project management is one of the elements that we learn during the system analysis and design. Okay, we have to plan. We have to identify activities. We have to arrange which one comes first, which one second, which one is interrelated, which one is critical. Okay, having identified all the activities, all the resources needed, and number of days to complete, so we have a good milestone. Okay, we know when to start, when to finish, which one is critical, which one, okay, we can buy time, okay, or we can delay. Okay, which one is concurrent, meaning that we can perform different activities at the same time, right? So project management is important, and it needs one person to manage the project. Okay. Right. Next is inappropriate technology and architecture. Technology is important because with suitable technology, we will have a successful system. And if we select the wrong technology and wrong architecture, certainly we will face the failure. Okay, we'll continue with the next.